great. I must congratulate the Public Service Commission too, and for government as a whole, for sticking with the Service Excellence Awards. I can remember the first time that it was mooted. The first time that it was mooted and it was agreed that we should have a Service Excellence Awards in government, and to see that it has been able to stick by through thick and thin has been something that I really appreciate. I was one of the persons that went all around Fiji doing the awareness to all the government agencies and to the various commissions on what this Service Excellence Award is all about, what its values are, and what we as a country will get out of it if we stick by it. And I remember having been a member of the review panel over the past few years, I used to have the opportunity of addressing the Service Excellence Awards night, and that was a great opportunity. And in the message that I used to give at that Service Excellence Awards night, the message was constant. Message was constant. There was only one message: stay the course. Stay the course of the Service Excellence Awards. If we stay the course over the period of 10 years or 15 years, when we begin to see that the values of the framework become embedded in the hearts and the minds of those who are leaders in government, then we will see it bear fruit. And I think we're still on that journey. And one of the important things, one of the reasons that today is very important, because it's not only about implanting the values of this framework into the hearts and the minds and the souls of the people who run government, but also to learn what the best practices are from each other. I've been amazed over the past few years when I used to run a similar program such as this. It used to be called the Better Business Conference in the Fiji Business Excellence Awards. We used to get the winners of our top awards, like you have today, the prisons and the finance, coming to deliver what their best practices are. And sometimes it's astounding to see, sometimes we think of ourselves as a small country in the middle of nowhere, and we think all the best things in the world are out there somewhere else. But we have some outstanding organizations in our country. We have some outstanding practices that we can all learn from. And that is why today is such a great function to have this. Because, the Service Excellence Awards is a bit like training. For those of you that are involved in training, it's always difficult to draw up a direct linkage between the training itself and the impact on bottom line results. But you can see the results take off. You can see the results will begin to improve. But to be able to establish that direct linkage is always a difficulty, especially for those involved in training. And that's the same sort of thing that you have in terms of Service Excellence Awards. To be able to see the direct linkage is often difficult, but you can see the impact. Especially when you talk about our Service Excellence Awards, we're talking about Category 7 of the awards. We're talking about the results and the importance of those results. I think if there's one thing, there's one challenge that we have in the Service Excellence Awards, is not just to think about it as winning that trophy and getting the handshake from the Prime Minister. I think sometimes when you think about these awards, that's our focus. Having the award, getting the recognition. But really, it's more than that. It's not just about winning awards. It's about getting that framework, which is a systemic framework. It's holistic. It covers everything you need to make an organization successful and sustainable. You can have a great organization that works very well, but as soon as the leader dies, what happens? What happens to the organizations? A lot of organizations die. That means they have not inbuilt the ideas of succession planning and developing new leaders, because great leaders develop leaders. Some of the worst leaders in the world are those who lead great organizations that produce great results, but when they die, the organization dies. Service Excellence Awards is all about creating an organization when all of us are no longer here, the organization excels and does better than what we were able to do. That's what we're trying to do in Service Excellence Awards. It's not about individual people. It's not about entities. It's not about just a charismatic leader. It's about building a system and a set of values that make sure that the organization succeeds no matter what. No matter who's there or who's not there, the organization continues to improve. ADLI, Approach, Deployment, Learning and Integration. That system automatically leads to improvement. It's automatic Kaizen, it's automatic improvement. For every item you have an approach. For every approach you deploy it across the whole organization, laterally, vertically, geographically. And once you deploy it, you measure the results, and once you result, you change your processes automatically in the integrate, so you move one notch higher. I've been very glad to see once we have this message across, that it's not just about winning awards, but putting the framework in place, implanting the values, implanting all the systems in place. Automatically we will see improvement. automatically will see improvement will happen. At the end of the day, all of us on this platform and all of you down there, we are here in this country and we have occupations in government or government-related agencies for one purpose alone. And that purpose is to see to the fruition of government's vision. Right? That's why you have a job, that's why I have a job. We are here to make sure that government's vision is achieved. That government's vision is to achieve build a better Fiji. Build a better Fiji for everybody in this country. Within our own organizations, you then have your own visions that you build up to do this. But at the end of the day, that's why we're here. And that's why I believe the Service Excellence Award is great, because it provides a framework to do just that. Over the past few years, I've been teaching and thinking and writing and talking to a lot of people about productivity and excellence. And one thing I've come to realize that is very true, that I believe now that is very true, and that is that excellence, it's a choice. Excellence is always a choice. It's not something that's accidental. It's something that you choose to pursue, something that you choose to chase. It's like when they say in the Bible, in the Christian, it says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. You can't seek by just waiting for it to happen. Excellence is something that if you sit and wait, it won't happen. You have to chase it. You have to choose to go after it. So that's something that's very important for us. We either choose to excel, or by default, we do not. For those of us in government, as I said, the decision is a moot one. It's already been decided for us. We have to excel, because we have to build a better Fiji. A better means better than the past, means that it's improving. Building a better Fiji requires us to excel. All of us are working towards the vision of government. So all of our different agencies, we have set up our own visions of what we have to do. And all of those visions are subsets of the vision of the overall government of Fiji, which is to build a better Fiji. In each of our agencies, as I said, we have drawn up these different visions to capture a portion of that overall vision. I've always believed this, especially as part of leadership, that the first thing that we need to do is, as leaders, is to make sure that the vision you have for government and for your own agencies becomes a vision of everybody in your agency. A lot of times when we talk about visions and these things, we paste them up on the wall and that's it, we forget about it. We forget about it. If you can have an organization where the vision of the leaders becomes the vision of everybody in the organization will automatically move in the way the leader wants it to move. The problem with a lot of organizations, and this is one of the values that we have in the Service Excellence Awards, where we try to make sure that the vision of the leaders becomes the vision of everybody in the organization. I can tell you, when I first joined the Ministry of Labor, I'm probably one of the only ministers that goes around and does workshops for his staff. I run around and run workshops and meet them. I used to go around and ask everybody, what's the vision of our ministry? The first year that I did it, hardly anybody knew it. Hardly anybody in the ministry knew it. But now, if I go around to the ministry, they can all tell me what it is. Then I started talking around. Whenever I visited the ministry, I asked them, what's the mission of our ministry? Nobody knew. Now they all know. Because a lot of times when you're working in a government agency, we are just captured by that little thing that we have in our job description. But really, we need to be able to see beyond that, to see how it links all up to the overall vision and the mission. I've now reached the stage in the Ministry of Labor, I go around and ask them, what are the values of our ministry? What are the values of ministry? If we can get those basics into the hearts and the minds of people, what the vision is, and the vision becomes my vision, the mission becomes my mission, and the values that we've talked about in the organization, if they are understood by the workers in the organization, then you have the basic foundations for moving towards an excellent organization. I'm glad to see now that in the Ministry of Labor, they are now beginning to tell me what the values are. But then I keep telling the leaders in the ministry, you know what the real values of this ministry will be? The values that the people in this ministry see shown in the behavior of the people who lead the ministries. That's a challenge for us, to make the values reflected in our own behavior. But to my mind, the Service Excellence Awards is the key because it is systemic, holistic, and focused on long-term sustainability. It is the tool that will allow government to improve quality. Because if there's one revolution that we need in Fiji right now to prepare us for the growth that is going to take place by next year and early on into the future, it will be a revolution that we need in terms of quality. We will need quality government agencies to make that growth happen, to facilitate it, and to make it so that we can all achieve the aims of government. I was talking recently, yesterday, I was talking to Selai about the service excellence awards, and she pointed out to me that the 3 categories in which there is a general weakness across all of government is category 3, 4, and 7. Category 3 and 4 and 7. That is where our challenge is. How we are able to collect, measure things in terms of data, convert that data into information, and use that information to give us knowledge on things that we can improve. That is one of the biggest challenges in government. The second one that she's told me about is category 4, customer focus. Understanding our customers, what's important to them today, what will be important to them tomorrow, and then changing our services to address customers' needs. That's a major area for us. And the third area that she mentioned was category 7, looking at our results, the results that we be able to produce. These are areas that are weak, that we are generally weak in government. I'm hopeful, I'm looking forward to, as a result of the conference that we have over today, that you will learn about some of the best approaches in deployment in each of these areas so we can strengthen the area that we're weak in. It's because they're essential, especially category 7. Category 7 is actually 45% of service excellence awards. If you can't make get the results, doesn't matter how good your processes are, maybe there's something wrong with your processes. So I'm hopeful that we'll learn from the presenters today, 2 of whom that we have up here, that you'll be able to pick up new ways of doing things, because today is all about learning and sharing. Today is the day for you to learn about the best approaches, the best ways of deploying those approaches, the best ways of gathering results, identifying trends, benchmarking our performance, and integrating all of this learning into the improvement system. So I'm not going to speak for too long, because I think the best part of today will be listening to the speakers. But make good use of today. I hope that you've all set yourself targets about what you're going to learn, acquire as a result of coming to this particular conference. Make use of the huge pool of people that is in this room today, so that they can be a great asset to your own agency. When I used to be at TPF, I used to tell my staff, when you go to a conference, make sure you make at least 5 new friends that you know that TPF can benefit from them by making your contact. So make sure that's one target you should have. Build a network from here. So by the time that you go back to your own organization, you can use their knowledge and their experience to help your agency develop its quality journey, because that's what it is. It's a journey, always moving towards your vision and the vision of your organization. Commit to excellence in everything, including the making use of this conference. And with those words, I declare the conference open, and may the learning and sharing begin.